Natural gas is the world's most perfect and abundant fuel. This fuel of tomorrow, here today, has long been a major energy source in the United States. Natural gas, found in these sizable fields, is delivered through over 500,000 miles of pipeline to 40 million users in the country, supplying over 30% of our nation's energy needs. Vigorous growth in the Pacific Northwest, resulting in increased energy demands, necessitated bringing this versatile fuel into these 3 states, the last major area in the U.S. to receive natural gas. A gigantic construction project was thus undertaken, the building of a 1,500-mile-long subway of energy, beginning in New Mexico and reaching to the Canadian border, where it receives gas from the extensive fields of British Columbia. This is the only major U.S. pipeline to receive supplies of gas from either end. Natural gas is moved through this welded steel pipeline at about 600 pounds pressure by giant pumping stations located 60 to 80 miles apart, such as this one in southeastern Idaho. This, then, is why and how natural gas came to Idaho, and we would like to unfold the dramatic story of the formation and spectacular growth of Intermountain Gas Company, one of the nation's youngest natural gas utilities. Intermountain Gas is an Idaho company which serves over 60 southern Idaho communities. Idaho is a big state, a land of vast frontiers. Intermountain service area covers over 46,000 square miles. Starting with no customers, no plant, and no revenues, Intermountain Gas has been busy pacing Idaho's bustling growth. December 6, 1956, Intermountain delivered gas to its first customer, and at the end of that year was serving 5. Idaho industries, businesses, and homes using natural gas now total nearly 60,000. Those first 5 customers produced less than $2,000 revenue for the year 1956. With that small amount growing and growing in size to approximately $18 million in 1966. It has taken sound visionary management, hard work, trained personnel, and money to accomplish this outstanding job. The company has invested over $55 million in Idaho's future. Intermountain Gas has installed over 3,000 miles of distribution and service lines to serve its customers and make natural gas available to additional thousands. Hard-working, efficient construction crews, taking great pride in their work, have laid enough pipe to reach from Denver to Los Angeles and back. Natural gas has been the magic ingredient that has stimulated Idaho's economy by enabling existing industry to expand and at the same time attracting new industries to the state. In fact, nearly 100 new industries have located in southern Idaho since natural gas became available. That's 10 a year, with more on the way. For one of the more spectacular examples of expanding a new industry, let's look at what's happened to Idaho's famous potatoes. 10 years ago, 12% of Idaho's potatoes went to market in process form, and now this figure has risen to over 60%. 25 huge potato processing plants, using natural gas for their processed steam, cookers, and dryers, are presently located in Intermountain service area, and they process over 2.5 billion pounds of spuds annually. Over half of all the frozen, dehydrated, or instant mashed potatoes consumed in the United States are processed right here in the Gem State. Yes, Idaho industry is on the grow. Natural gas is important to Idaho's canning industry, with the 8 plants in the Intermountain area converting to this better fuel. One of these, the Green Giant plant in Buell, added its own can manufacturing facilities, with a production capacity of 90 million cans a year. Carnation Company has built a similar facility in Nampa. More new industry providing more jobs for Idaho workers. This is one of the last steps of the can fabrication, the natural gas-fired soldering operation. Dairying provides the largest year-round income to Idaho farmers, with almost every commercial dairy and creamery using the purest of all fuels, natural gas. Here you are watching raw milk being delivered at one of the West's largest creameries near Caldwell. This plant markets 30 million pounds of dairy products annually. 4 of these 5,000-pound capacity butter churns supply a good share of the butter sold in San Francisco. A small plant near Grace makes cheese with the aid of natural gas. This process begins with the mixing of the curd in stainless steel tanks. Idaho ranks 3rd in the nation in the production of beet sugar. Here we are watching sugar beets being stockpiled against a bright October sky prior to their conversion to sugar. The 4 large sugar plants in southern Idaho are customers of Intermountain Gas and handle a total of 15 to 20,000 tons of sugar beets a day, consuming upwards of 40 million cubic feet of natural gas in converting the beets to sugar. Large gas-fired boilers furnish steam for cooking the beet pulp in vats like this. A little later, the pulp is quickly transformed into pure white sugar in rows of centrifuge machines shown in operation here. It is then dried with gas heat in this rotating drum over 6 feet in diameter. Temperature is maintained at about 210 degrees. Another use for natural gas in the sugar plants is for drying the waste pulp, usable as high-protein cattle feed. The moist pulp is fed into the dryer where natural gas then takes over. Another bright spot on Idaho's industrial horizon is her expanding phosphate industry, a large consumer of natural gas. The world's 2nd largest phosphate plant, FMC Corporation, at Pocatello, processes over 200 million pounds of phosphate rock yearly. Nearby, J.R. Simplot's expanded anhydrous ammonia plant is in full operation, taking over 10 million cubic feet of gas a day. Kerr-McGee Corporation, a new plant near Soda Springs, produces vanadium, a phosphate byproduct. In the same area, Monsanto Chemical is a large customer of Intermountain Gas. And El Paso Products Company has constructed a phosphate plant whose production helps supply the growing national market for commercial fertilizers. Natural gas plays a big part in the processing of phosphate. Huge boilers and gigantic kilns are gas-fired. Steaming phosphate rock is seen emerging from the kiln. Phosphates are an important ingredient in America's rapidly growing fertilizer, chemical, and detergent industries. Southeastern Idaho, containing one of the nation's largest phosphate rock deposits, is thus destined for an exciting growth period. Brick, concrete block, and pipe manufacturers are large users of natural gas. This is a large diameter concrete pipe being formed at Idaho Concrete Products Plant near Nampa, later to be enclosed in this natural gas-fired steam autoclave for curing. Lumbering, of course, is big business in Idaho. And here you are watching lumber cut from progressive timber farms being stacked before entering the gas drying kiln shown in the background. 10 meat and poultry processing plants use natural gas for their hot water, steam, and heating requirements. Fine Idaho beef is being loaded into trucks ready to speed to San Francisco dining tables. The AVI Simplot Poultry Farm near Meridian raises and markets over 3 million fryers annually. More new industry for Idaho. 9 new mobile home manufacturing plants have located in the Boise Valley in recent years. They use gas for welding, heating, and paint drying. This gas-fired boiler furnishes steam for the processing of mint oil at the E&H Mint plant near New Plymouth. Each of these steel vats, in reality a giant pressure cooker, holds about 6 tons of chopped mint, which will produce 70 pounds of oil, marketed to chewing gum, dentifrice, candy, and medical companies. Of course, expanding industry, new industry, can mean only one thing to an area: more opportunities, more jobs for more people and homes for them to live in. Residential construction has been booming in Intermountain service area, with over 20,000 new homes built in the years 1957 through 1966, the biggest building boom in Idaho's history. Over 90% of these new homes are using natural gas for the things gas can do best, such as heating, water heating, cooking, and yes, even yard lights. In addition to the nearly 150 large industrial customers and thousands of residential accounts, Intermountain Gas Company is serving many types of commercial and institutional customers in southern Idaho, including churches. Here see the beautiful LDS Church in Montpelier, schools, Idaho State University in Pocatello, bustling shopping centers, state, federal, and public buildings, hospitals, banks, glove manufacturers. The Yellowstone Glove Company in Idaho Falls distributes fine leather products throughout the United States. Transportation facilities such as Boise's Union Pacific Depot. Hotels and motels, many who feature gas-heated swimming pools. Gas cooking and air conditioning, here provided by gas reciprocating engines. World-famed resort Sun Valley, with its fabulous skiing, year-round recreational and convention facilities, is now a customer of Intermountain Gas. One unusual gas application in our service area is this natural gas oven, used to bake artificial worms in the Glen Evans plant near Caldwell, world-famous manufacturer of fishing tackle and lures. The young lady is removing the colorful bait, a variety to suit every fish. Here you see giant flies being tied, just the right size for Idaho trout. Intermountain Gas Company is currently expanding its facilities still further and is extending its lines into rural areas, offering natural gas service to southern Idaho farmers and growers for irrigation pumping. Idaho is indeed fortunate, having an abundant supply of productive land, ideal climate, and water. It is only one of 3 states in the continental United States with no water shortage. Idaho ranks 4th in the nation in total acres irrigated, with almost 30% of her farmable land dependent on irrigation for successful crops. Idahoans are currently farming over 15 million acres of land. Irrigated lands represent almost 10% of our country's irrigated acreage. Natural gas engines can best furnish the energy for supplying irrigation water, whether it be by sprinkling or deep well pumping. And Intermountain Gas is acquiring its full share of this business. Typical of the dramatic breakthrough in the acquisition of large pumping projects involving thousands of horsepower is this irrigation project located on the Snake River near Hammett. These 5 giant 900 horsepower gas engines lift Snake River water 420 feet up this mountainside through 3 26-inch pipelines, delivering 33,000 gallons of water per minute on top of the plateau. The water is pumped into this 4-acre, 8 million gallon capacity reservoir, and then flows into the 3-mile-long canal system where smaller relift engines deliver the life-giving water onto the more than 6,000 acres of sugar beets, potatoes, onions, and corn. What is total energy? It is the most exciting, imaginative, and modern advance in the field of energy application ever available to business and industry. Think of a single energy package providing heating, cooling, and most important, electricity at a lower cost than any other method. Intermountain Gas Company has taken a dramatic stride into the future with the completion of its total energy statewide office facility in Boise. The 4-building central office complex houses the Boise Division personnel, executive staff, central billing, operation, and engineering facilities. It was constructed to more efficiently serve the company's ever-increasing number of customers. A new one is connected every 20 minutes of every working day. Intermountain Gas Company's total energy system, housed in this unique ceramic glazed brick turbine house, produces heating, cooling, and electricity from a single energy source, natural gas. No conventional power lines enter the site because all the electricity needed for the buildings is produced by burning natural gas in a turbine. Part of the total energy system is the gas turbine, which works on the same principle that makes a windmill turn when the wind blows against it. In the gas turbine, the wind is actually hot gases, which are produced by burning economical natural gas, which in turn heats large volumes of free outside air. As the gas turbine spins, it turns the shaft of the electric generator, which instantaneously produces electricity that travels to the electric switch gear panel, from which it is distributed to the other buildings, supplying, of course, the lighting and all other electrical requirements. The hot gases which spin the turbine blades are exhausted in the heat recovery boiler, where they produce steam for heating and, surprisingly enough, for cooling. The steam is piped into this absorption water chiller for cooling in hot weather. Yes, all of southern Idaho is watching natural gas do it all: heat, cool, cook, and generate electricity in the new central office complex of Intermountain Gas Company. After watching this film for the past 15 minutes, you're sure to agree that the creation of a new utility, beginning with no plant, no customers, no revenues, and its development to a strong earnings, dividend-paying position in 10 years, is an exciting story. With natural gas added to our state's abundant supply of land, water, and economical hydropower, Idaho is busy indeed building for the future with confidence. Her citizens are looking up to an economic future as bright as the blue skies above. Idaho is truly on the go. And Intermountain Gas Company, one of the nation's newest and youngest natural gas utilities, is on its way.